What's up, y'all? I'm Mike. I'm here alongside a lot of members from the Southern Movement Committee, just a few of us, but we're here today, of course, to talk about the varsity spending plan. I just want to start by saying I was 16 years old the first time I witnessed gun violence. A lot of our young people are experiencing gun violence constantly. Antioch school shooting has been talked about already, but the impacts of that have ripple effects throughout our entire community, as we all know, okay? We're really grateful that y'all put the varsity spending plan in the budget last year. We really appreciate working with you all and working with the mayor's office to implement the first in the nation Office of Youth Safety that is separate from the criminal justice system. And we know we can't stop there. We know our full ask is $10 million to invest in youth safety. We continue that ask this year. What we want to do is we want to make sure we invest in the urgency and also the implementation of the programs and the solutions that the community has come up with, what the young people have come up with, and what our folks need. So I just want to encourage you all to do an amazing job like you did last year, but maybe even push harder than you did last year to invest into the young people's safety. Thank y'all so much. Support the varsity spending plan.
Thank you. Next is Nicholas Drake. Go ahead, sir.
Peace again. My name is Nicholas Drake. I'm a community organizer with Southern Movement Committee and a native Nashville resident. Aaron Evans is my council person. And I came today to also express my support for the varsity spending plan. I have the pleasure of working with youth in our youth internship from ages 14 to 26. And we work with them and try to constantly envision a world where they feel safe. Recently, I had the opportunity to speak with one of the youth who actually attend Antioch High School, and they were able to share with me some of their experiences since the recent tragedies. And in that, what I gathered from their experiences was that more SROs at the schools does not make them feel safer. Shorter school or class blocks does not make them feel safer. Metal detectors doesn't make them feel safer because the harm has already been done, right? And so I think with the varsity spending plan, it's the first step towards building a safer Nashville for our youth. And I think with a fully funded varsity spending plan, I think we will begin to be able to imagine what we imagine with our youth in our program, which is a safer Nashville for all. So I ask today that you fully fund the $10 million for the varsity spending plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Denzel Xavier Caldwell.
Hello, everybody. My name is Denzel Caldwell. I'm an organizer with the Black Nashville Assembly. Tanya Hancock is my city council member. I'm advocating for fully funding the varsity spending plan to effectively address gun violence at its root. Years ago, when I was in grade school, my family and I were robbed at gunpoint in the garage of our home. The assailant was a young man who took my dad's wallet after approaching our garage at night. Needless to say, that night forever changed our lives. But as I look back on that as an adult, after years of working with youth, I often wonder what experiences the young man endured that led him to make a decision to pick up that gun that night. How differently will his life be if he had readily available programming in his school or neighborhood that allowed him to find the money he needed, provide him the tools to navigate the conflicts in his life, and build his self-esteem. I know for a fact that a fully funded varsity spending plan, had that existed then, moments like this, that life-changing night that we experienced would have never happened. I know for a fact that there would be youth that would still be breathing. And I know for a fact that many folks in our communities would have much less wounds. And so last year, you, the city council, chose the youth by allocating $1 million towards the varsity spending plan. Today, I'm asking you and advocating for you to lean deeper into that commitment by committing the full $10 million to the varsity spending plan, which is a life-saving plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Brandon Gooch.
What's going on? All right, so my name is Brandon Gooch. I'm a member with the Black Nashville Assembly. My Quante Tunes is my councilwoman. I'm advocating for the varsity spending plan to impact to reduce gun violence and adding community center programs and restore justice. As we all know, what happened at the Antioch High School shooting, it affected all of us in some type of capacity. We all know that it should change. We should push for change, and change should start with the varsity spending plan. And we should put, y'all should put the full 10 million into the budget to help the kids have less worries, where a space they should feel the safest at, and where they can learn, speak, and become leaders. So if you're trying to protect the kids, varsity spending plan is the way to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Alessandro Demby.
What's going on? Good evening. My name is Dro Denby, and I'm a member of the Southern Movement Committee. And David Benton is my council member. I am advocating for the varsity spending plan due to its impact on reducing gun violence. Being an Antioch resident, I'm no stranger to gun violence, from the Waffle House shooting in 2018 to my younger cousin being gunned down at a club this past fall, and now the recent shooting at Antioch High School. An initiative for youth safety and change has been past due. The varsity spending plan is that initiative. The varsity spending plan is that change. So I compel you to fully fund the varsity spending plan, the full 10 million, to prevent future shootings impacting youth, not only in my district, but in the district of those that your daughters, your sons, your grandkids, nieces and nephews live and commune in. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Paige Nicole Hodge.
Hi, my name is Paige Hodge. I'm 19 years old and I attend Nashville State. I am a member of the Southern Movement Committee and we're asking for your investment in the varsity spending plan. Being a student today is hard enough without the added fear that I might not make it back home again. It's sad that on top of balancing our daily responsibilities such as homework, work outside of school, and other personal matters, we now have to add on fighting for our safety in a place where that should be assured. Again, that's why I'm here advocating for the varsity spending plan due to its impact on reducing gun violence. I know people personally impacted by the recent Antioch school shooting. It sent shockwaves through our communities, especially for those of us who witnessed it. I work with some people who were in that cafeteria when the shooting occurred. It has greatly impacted their abilities to work. So now they're not only mentally, physically, and emotionally impacted, but financially as well. Those are the kinds of things that cause other problems to arise. We, at bare minimum, deserve a place where safety isn't a question. I believe funding the varsity spending plan will not only help create these places, but implement pro-community structures into these systems and provide tools for people that can help prevent future tragedies and assist in processing the ones that have already occurred. I want to know for sure that me, my siblings, my friends, and everybody else have an opportunity to grow, learn, and most importantly, live. That's why, especially in the light of the recent circumstances, I think that the varsity spending plan should be prioritized in the budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Micah Dixon.
Hello, my name is Micah Dixon, and Quante Tunes is my council member. I attend KIPP Nashville Collegiate High School, and which is in District 5, which Sean Parker represents. I myself am advocating for the varsity spending plan because it is needed in our community. I have friends at Antioch High School who are afraid to go to school, afraid to step in the cafeteria after the shooting. The tragedy affected more than just Antioch students. It impacted everyone, including those of us at schools nearby. Just 15 minutes away, we all have been shaken, both mentally and physically, knowing that we could have been in that situation too. We live with that trauma and terror every day. We need to build environments that protect us from feeling like violence is our only option and solution. To make that possible, the varsity spending plan needs to be on the budget. I thank you for the $1 million you have already contributed. I ask that you fully fund the varsity spending plan with the full $10 million. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Maya Willis.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mia Willis, and my district council member is Jennifer Webb. I have dedicated my time to be here in advocacy for the varsity spending plan, which is completely devoted to ending the rising gun violence in Nashville, Tennessee, as well as aiding in the mental health of our youth. It is with a heavy heart that I recognize the recent school shooting at Antioch High School this past month. Let's not also forget the Covenant shooting that happened not too long ago. This is only one of the many counts of gun violence happening in Nashville. According to Nashville.gov, there have already been 280 violent crimes involving the threat of a firearm, 19 non-fatal shootings, and 7 homicides since January 1st, 2025. Again, I repeat, January 1st, 2025, till today. Something needs to change, and it is not policing. The rise in gun violence over the past few years and lack of change is sole proof of that. I thank you for the $1 million contribution that you have already made to the varsity spending plan, and I ask that you contribute the fully funding the $10 million that is truly needed. We have to prioritize our youth. It is our duty to do so. It is your duty to do so. This plan will not only reduce gun violence, but will support our youth that have been affected by it, as well as our youth who want to be better, but may not have the guidance to know where to start. As we all know, no child gets the opportunity to choose their life, where they live, how much their guardians can or cannot afford, or even their environment. The varsity spending plan is how you will and can change and shape the future of our youth. I ask that you fully fund the varsity spending plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Anton Jamar Christian.
Hello, my name is Anton Christian, member of Black Nashville Assembly, and Tanya Hancock is my council member, and I'm advocating for the varsity spending plan due to its impact on reducing gun violence and cultivating safe, productive spaces for our youth. As we know, the Antioch High School shooting has impacted a number of families and youth in Nashville. And my mother happens to be a tenured employee of Metro Nashville Public Schools for almost 30 years, currently serving as the dean at a local middle school. To hear the concern in her voice when it comes to the climate of our students and staff safety in an environment where both frequent more than their homes is quite alarming. During the eye test, it seems as if MNPS has a deficit when offering other resources and for our students and staff to not only feel safe, but also grow daily to become productive citizens for our city. Since violence has no age limit, the varsity spending plan can be the supplement to this particular issue. Although grateful for the $1 million granted, fully funding the varsity spending plan at $10 million will help with the mission of reducing gun violence by navigating conflict amongst our youth. As council members, most of you have families, children, and friends that are impacted by our community. So together, we can close the gap and build better futures for our children and families by fully funding the varsity spending plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Trey French.
Hello, everybody. My name is Trey French. I am in Tom Cash's district. I'm a member of Black Nashville Assembly, and I'm here to advocate for the varsity spending plan. I'm a therapist, and I work with teens and adults on a regular basis, and I know firsthand how the impact of violence has impacted their mental health and their overall well-being, and I think it's far past time for us to invest in proactive measures that address the issues that lead to violence before the violence occurs, and so that we can prevent tragedies like the Antioch shooting and all the things that people have talked about today. We appreciate the investment that you all made last year, and we're just asking you to deepen that commitment and fully fund the varsity spending plan. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Next is Erica Perry.
Hello, I'm Erica Perry. I'm the Executive Director of the Southern Movement Committee. I'm here to ask and encourage you to support the varsity spending plan by fully funding it with the $10 million. And I want to thank you so much for the support from last year. Together, we've been able to work with Councilmember Porterfield and the Mayor's office to really build out the work of the Office of Youth Safety and begin to implement the Restorative Justice Pilot Program at Napier Community Center. And I just want to say I appreciate the co-governance and the way that we are really embodying democracy in Nashville by supporting the varsity spending plan, and appreciate the work of young people and ask you again to invest more deeply into the solutions and ideas of young people who are most impacted by gun violence, are most impacted when we fail to truly invest in social goods and in the work of the varsity spending plan. And so we know that in Nashville, like many other cities across the country, we find ourselves in a crisis. And I say a crisis because one young person stolen from us from gun violence is a crisis. Last year, we saw at least 12 be taken from us via gun violence. And so we know that we can interrupt that and prevent those things from happening in Nashville by investing in the varsity spending plan, solutions that young people have come up with. They know that restorative justice in their high schools putting at least $2 million there will help them feel safe, will be safety. They know that expanding community center programming with at least $4 million is an avenue to safety. And then investing in the Office of Youth Safety by putting $4 million into their programming to really build that out and make sure we have the tools and resources we need to confront the crisis in Nashville. And so I appreciate your support and again encourage you to support the Varsity Spending Plan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next is Dayani Hathaway.
Yes, hello. My name is Deani Hathaway, also one of the youth interns, while Brendan Taylor is my city council member. I attend Hillsborough High School, which is in the Jeff Precinct District. Today, I'll be speaking on the Varsity Spending Plan and its impact on reducing gun violence. The Varsity Spending Plan is designed and put together for younger kids from ages 14 through 18 to join and come together to help advocate the rights of my generation to help stop the violence that's going around in today's society. The fact that the Antioch shooting even happened in the first place speaks for itself, that more kids every day are starting to take safety into their own hands, and it's mainly high school students, and it should not be that way. Me as a high school student should not have to walk in a building on edge and feel unsafe at all when all I've been told growing up is that school is supposed to protect me. So here I stand today. I humbly ask that you, the people who are supposed to be protecting us, put the Varsity Spending Plan on the budget and give the $10 million to the right cause and for a good purpose. Thank you for your time and help support the Varsity Spending Plan.
Thank you. Next is Jamel Campbell Gooch.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jamel Campbell Gooch. I live in Brandon Taylor's district. I have a lot of family in Bordeaux. My pops lives in Toombs district, and my mother is in District 1. I graduated from East High School, that is in Sean Parker's district, one of the greatest high schools in the country. My mother in 1982 lost a friend to gun violence. While working at Pearl as a support staff member, I lost 2 students to gun violence. And 3 years ago, I lost a sibling to gun violence. Gun violence has become a multi-generational thing. It is killing us daily, and it is the top cause of youth death in the country. And we can do something about it. So I'm here asking for you to fully fund the Varsity Spending Plan. With this being Black History Month, there's some historical context here. Whenever our young people under the ages of 26 have come together to actually fix an issue that is generational, they have not only fixed it in Nashville, but they have fixed it across the country. And our young people now in our youth assembly are attempting to lead in their way and setting up something that the nation is accepting as normal, which is not. So I'm asking you, will you embrace this historical night that we're in, this historical moment? Will you take on the youth leadership, and when you step in the way of our young folks and leading the country and actually solving the problem of gun violence? Thank you.
Thank you.